Chapter 1. The Meeting. In a bustling corner of the city, a small coffee shop served as a haven for thinkers, dreamers, and the occasional trader. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the quiet hum of conversation and the tapping of keyboards. Juju, a young man in his mid-20s, sat at a corner table, his laptop open to a Forex trading platform. His eyes flicked back and forth between the screen and a well-worn notebook filled with scribbles and diagrams. Today was a special day. He was about to meet someone who could change his life. The doorbell chimed, and in walked Mr. Drayton. Tall, with silver hair and an air of quiet confidence, he was a man who had seen it all in the world of trading. For over 35 years, he had navigated the highs and lows of the market, trading options, stocks, and everything in between. Today, he was here to meet Juju, a young trader with big dreams. Mr. Drayton scanned the room and spotted Juju, who waved him over with a mixture of excitement and nervousness. As Mr. Drayton approached, Juju stood up and extended his hand. "Mr. Drayton, it's an honor to meet you. I'm Juju," he said, his voice betraying a hint of awe. "Nice to meet you, Juju," Mr. Drayton replied with a warm smile, shaking his hand firmly. "Please, call me James." They both sat down, and after ordering their drinks, the conversation began. "So, Juju, tell me about yourself and why you want to become a trader," James said, leaning back in his chair. Juju took a deep breath. "Ever since I was a kid, I've been fascinated by the markets. I want to be the best trader in the world one day, but I know I have a lot to learn. I've read books, watched videos, and practiced on demo accounts, but I feel like I need guidance to take my skills to the next level." James nodded thoughtfully. "That's a good start. Trading is a journey, not a destination. It requires dedication, patience, and a willingness to learn from both successes and failures." Juju listened intently, his eyes wide with admiration. "I've heard that mastering support and resistance levels is crucial. Can you teach me about that?" James smiled. "Support and resistance levels are indeed fundamental to trading. They're the building blocks of any successful strategy. But before we dive into the technical aspects, let's talk about the mindset required for trading." Over the next hour, James shared stories from his trading career, emphasizing the importance of discipline and emotional control. He explained how even the best strategies could fail if a trader couldn't manage their emotions. Juju absorbed every word, taking notes and asking questions. "Support and resistance levels," James began, "are like the floor and ceiling of a room. Support is the level where the price tends to find a floor and bounce back up, while resistance is where it hits a ceiling and comes back down." Juju nodded, visualizing the concept. "So how do we identify these levels?" James pulled out a sheet of paper and began to sketch. "We look at historical price data to see where the price has repeatedly reversed. These points form our support and resistance levels. It's a combination of technical analysis and understanding market psychology." As James continued to explain, Juju felt a sense of clarity. The abstract concepts he had struggled with were starting to make sense. "Remember," James said, "trading isn't just about making money. It's about making the right decisions consistently. Support and resistance levels help us do that by providing a framework for our trades." The conversation flowed effortlessly, with James sharing insights and Juju soaking up the knowledge like a sponge. As the sun set, casting a warm glow through the coffee shop windows, Juju felt a renewed sense of purpose. "Thank you, James. I feel like I've learned more in this one conversation than in months of studying on my own," Juju said sincerely. James smiled. "This is just the beginning, Juju. There's a lot more to learn, and I'm here to help you every step of the way." With that, they agreed to meet regularly, setting the stage for a mentorship that would shape Juju's journey into the world of trading. The following week, Juju arrived at James's home office, a room filled with bookshelves, multiple screens, and the unmistakable ambiance of experience and wisdom. The walls were adorned with charts and framed certificates, a testament to James's extensive career. "Welcome, Juju," James greeted him warmly. "Today we'll start from the basics and gradually move to more complex topics." Juju nodded eagerly, setting his laptop on the desk. "I'm ready." James began by explaining the fundamental concepts of support and resistance. Support is like the floor, Juju. It's a price level where a currency pair tends to find buying interest. Resistance, on the other hand, is like the ceiling. It's a price level where selling interest tends to be strong. Juju leaned forward, absorbing the information. "So the price bounces off these levels?" Exactly, James said. But identifying these levels isn't always straightforward. It requires a careful analysis of historical price data. Let's look at some examples. They spent the next few hours going through charts, identifying support and resistance levels. James showed Juju how to draw horizontal lines at points where the price had repeatedly reversed direction. See here, James pointed at a chart. This level acted as resistance multiple times before it was finally broken and then turned into support. Juju traced the lines with his finger. I see. It's like the price respects these levels. James nodded. Yes, and this respect for levels is rooted in market psychology. Traders remember these levels and act on them, which reinforces their significance. They took a short break, sipping coffee and discussing the emotional aspects of trading. James emphasized the importance of discipline and the need to remain detached from trades emotionally. Emotions can cloud judgment, James said. Fear and greed are the biggest enemies of a trader. That's why a clear plan and sticking to it is crucial. As they resumed their session, James introduced Juju to various types of charts, line, bar, and candlestick charts. Each chart type has its uses, he explained. But candlestick charts are particularly popular because they provide a lot of information in a simple format. Juju was fascinated. I've seen these before, but I didn't know how to read them properly. James smiled. Let's fix that. Candlestick charts show the open, high, low, and close prices for a given period. The body of the candlestick represents the range between the open and close, while the wicks represent the high and low. They practiced reading candlestick patterns, identifying bullish and bearish trends, and understanding the implications of different formations. By the end of the day, Juju felt a sense of accomplishment. He had learned more in a few hours than he had in months of self-study. James's explanations were clear and practical, grounded in years of experience. Thank you, James, Juju said as they wrapped up. I'm excited to apply what I've learned. James patted him on the back. You're doing great, Juju. Remember, this is just the beginning. Keep practicing, and the markets will start making more sense. As Juju left James's home, he felt a surge of confidence. He knew the road ahead was long, but with James as his mentor, he was ready to tackle the challenges and learn the intricacies of trading. The next few weeks flew by in a whirlwind of charts, analysis, and practice trades. Juju spent every spare moment reviewing what he had learned and applying it to his trading. Each session with James brought new insights and reinforced the importance of patience and discipline. One crisp Saturday morning, Juju arrived at James's home with a question that had been on his mind. James, I've been reading about indicators. How do they fit into the whole support and resistance strategy? James welcomed him in with a smile. Indicators are tools that help us confirm our analysis. They're not magic bullets, but they can provide valuable insights when used correctly. They sat down in the trading room, and James began to explain the most commonly used indicators. One of the simplest yet effective indicators is the moving average. It smooths out price data to create a single flowing line, which can help identify trends. James showed Juju how to plot moving averages on a chart. A common strategy is to use two moving averages of different periods. When the shorter moving average crosses above the longer one, it's a signal to buy, and vice versa. Juju nodded, taking notes. What about other indicators? James continued, introducing Bollinger Bands, which consist of a moving average and two standard deviations above and below it. Bollinger Bands help identify overbought and oversold conditions. When the price touches the upper band, it's considered overbought. When it touches the lower band, it's oversold. They also discussed the Relative Strength Index, RSI, which measures the speed and change of price movements. RSI values above 70 indicate overbought conditions, and values below 30 indicate oversold conditions, James explained. Juju was intrigued. These tools seem powerful. How do we integrate them with support and resistance? James smiled. Great question. Indicators are used to confirm the signals given by support and resistance levels. For instance, if the price is approaching a support level and the RSI indicates oversold conditions, it's a stronger signal that the price might bounce up from the support. James opened a live chart on his computer. Let's see this in action. Here's a currency pair that's approaching a historical support level. We'll add the RSI and Bollinger Bands to this chart. Juju watched as James plotted the indicators. The RSI was nearing the oversold zone, and the price was close to the lower Bollinger Band, right at the support level. Based on what we've discussed, this could be a good buying opportunity, James pointed out. Juju nodded, his excitement growing. I see it now. The indicators add another layer of confirmation to the support and resistance analysis. James agreed. Exactly. But remember, no single indicator or strategy is foolproof. The key is to use them together to increase your chances of making successful trades. They spent the rest of the session backtesting this integrated approach, reviewing past charts to see how well the strategy would have worked. Juju was amazed at how much clearer the market movements became with this combined analysis. As the session wrapped up, James gave Juju a homework assignment. Review at least 10 different currency pairs and identify support and resistance levels. Add the RSI and Bollinger Bands to your charts and note down your observations. This practice will help you get comfortable with the process. Juju left with a renewed sense of purpose. The pieces of the trading puzzle were coming together, and he was eager to apply his newfound knowledge. Over the next few days, Juju immersed himself in his homework. He spent hours analyzing charts, plotting support and resistance levels, and adding indicators. He meticulously noted down his observations, excited by the patterns he was beginning to recognize. During their next meeting, Juju shared his findings with James. I reviewed 10 different currency pairs as you suggested. Here are my charts and observations. James examined Juju's work, nodding approvingly. You've done well, Juju. Your support and resistance levels are accurate, and your use of indicators shows that you're starting to understand how they complement each other. Juju beamed with pride. Thank you, James. It's starting to make sense now. James then introduced the concept of backtesting. Backtesting is the process of testing your trading strategy on historical data to see how well it would have performed. It's a crucial step in developing a reliable trading plan. They spent the session backtesting Juju's charts. James showed him how to use software tools to simulate trades based on historical data, applying the support and resistance strategy combined with indicators. This backtesting process will help you refine your strategy, James explained. It's important to test your ideas thoroughly before applying them in a live market. Juju watched intently as James demonstrated the backtesting process. They reviewed the results, analyzing both successful and unsuccessful trades. James emphasized the importance of learning from mistakes and continuously improving the strategy. By the end of the session, Juju felt more confident in his ability to develop and refine a trading strategy. I see now why this is such an important step. It's like a dress rehearsal before the real performance. James chuckled. That's a good way to put it. Remember, trading is a continuous learning process. Even experienced traders like myself keep learning and adapting. As they continued their sessions, Juju and James delved deeper into the psychological aspects of trading. James shared stories of his own experiences, both successes and failures, highlighting the emotional roller coaster that trading often entails. One of the biggest challenges in trading is managing your emotions, James said. Fear and greed can lead to impulsive decisions that deviate from your strategy. It's essential to remain disciplined and stick to your plan, no matter what. Juju listened intently, understanding the importance of emotional control. How do you stay disciplined, James? James smiled. It takes practice and self-awareness. One effective technique is to set clear rules for your trades. For instance, decide in advance your entry and exit points, and stick to them. Don't let emotions dictate your decisions. They discussed various techniques for maintaining discipline, such as keeping a trading journal to document each trade and the reasoning behind it. This practice not only helps in reviewing and learning from past trades, but also reinforces the habit of sticking to the plan. Juju found the idea of a trading journal particularly appealing. I think keeping a journal will help me stay accountable to myself. James nodded. It's a powerful tool. Reflecting on your trades and your thought processes will make you a better trader over time. They then moved on to advanced topics, such as dynamic support and resistance levels. James explained how these levels can shift based on market conditions and how to adapt the strategy accordingly. Markets are dynamic and ever-changing, James said. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. Being flexible and adaptable is key. Juju practiced identifying dynamic support and resistance levels, using trend lines and moving averages to adjust his analysis. He realized that trading was as much an art as it was a science, requiring a balance of technical knowledge and intuitive understanding. As their mentorship progressed, Juju began to notice significant improvements in his trading skills. He felt more confident in his analysis and decision-making, and his trades were becoming more consistent. One day, during a particularly volatile trading session, Juju decided to apply everything he had learned. He identified a strong support level on a major currency pair and noticed that the RSI was in the oversold territory. The price was also near the lower Bollinger Band. This looks like a good buying opportunity, Juju thought, recalling James's teachings. He placed a buy order, setting his stop loss just below the support level and his take profit at the next resistance level. As the trade progressed, the price moved in his favor, bouncing off the support level and climbing steadily. Juju watched the charts with a mixture of excitement and anxiety. He remembered James's advice about emotional control and took deep breaths to stay calm. When the price reached his take profit level, he closed the trade with a significant profit. Juju couldn't wait to share the news with James. During their next meeting, he recounted the trade with enthusiasm. "James, I made a successful trade using the support and resistance strategy along with the indicators. It felt great to see everything come together." James smiled proudly. "Well done, Juju. This is just the beginning. As you gain more experience, you'll develop a deeper understanding of the markets and refine your strategies even further." They celebrated Juju's success, but also reviewed the trade to identify any areas for improvement. James emphasized the importance of continuous learning and adapting to market conditions. "Every trade is a learning opportunity," James said. "Celebrate your successes, but also analyze your trades critically to keep improving." With each passing day, Juju's confidence and skill as a trader grew. He continued to work closely with James, learning not only about technical analysis but also about the deeper philosophies of trading and life. One evening, after a particularly intensive session, they took a break to chat about their personal lives. James shared stories from his early days as a trader, the challenges he faced, and the lessons he learned along the way. "I started trading when the markets were very different," James said, reminiscing. "We didn't have the same technology and tools that you have today. Everything was slower, but it taught me patience and the value of thorough analysis." Juju listened with fascination. "You've seen so much change over the years. What's the most important lesson you've learned?" James thought for a moment. "I'd say it's the importance of resilience. The markets can be brutal, and you'll face setbacks. But each setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. Never give up, and always stay curious." Juju found James's words inspiring. He realized that trading was not just a profession, but a lifelong journey of learning and self-improvement. He was grateful to have a mentor like James to guide him. As the evening drew to a close, James gave Juju one last piece of advice. "Remember, Juju, trading is a marathon, not a sprint. Take your time, stay disciplined, and enjoy the journey." Juju nodded, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and determination. He knew that with James's mentorship, he was on the right path to becoming the trader he aspired to be. They ended the session with a handshake, a symbol of the trust and friendship that had grown between them. Juju left James's home with a renewed sense of purpose, ready to face the challenges and opportunities that lay ahead. As Juju walked home, he reflected on everything he had learned from James. The technical skills, the strategies, and most importantly, the wisdom and resilience that James embodied. He felt a deep sense of gratitude and determination, knowing that he was on the right path to achieving his dreams. The following week, Juju returned to James's home for another session. This time, they focused on refining Juju's trading plan. James emphasized the importance of having a clear, well-defined plan and sticking to it. "A trading plan is your roadmap," James explained. "It outlines your goals, strategies, risk management rules, and criteria for entering and exiting trades. Without a plan, you're just gambling." They spent the session drafting a comprehensive trading plan for Juju. They outlined his goals, both short-term and long-term, and detailed the strategies he would use based on support and resistance levels, along with the indicators they had discussed. They also established strict risk management rules, such as the maximum amount Juju was willing to risk on any single trade. James stressed the importance of adhering to the plan, especially during times of emotional stress. "No matter what happens, stick to your plan. It's there to protect you and guide you through the ups and downs of trading." They reviewed various scenarios and discussed how Juju should respond according to his plan. This exercise helped Juju visualize different market conditions and reinforced the importance of discipline and consistency. By the end of the session, Juju had a solid trading plan in place. He felt more prepared and confident, knowing that he had a clear roadmap to follow. "Thank you, James," Juju said sincerely. "I feel like I have a strong foundation now." James smiled. "You're doing great, Juju. Remember, this is a journey. Keep learning, keep practicing, and always stay curious. With that, Juju left James's home, ready to tackle the markets with renewed confidence and a clear strategy.